Well, hello there, friends. My name's Joe, just Grandpa Joe, as most folks call me. I'm real glad you stopped by, really, I am. This here's Echoes of the Past. A quiet little place where I sit for a spell and tell stories from a time when the world turned a bit slower. You know, back when we listened to the radio for the news, when evenings meant sitting out on the porch, talking, till the fireflies came out, maybe just rocking in an old wooden chair. If you're like me, you might miss those times, or maybe you just enjoy hearing about them. Either way, you being here, well, it means a lot to me. Now today, I'd like to share a story from way back in 1955, a year I remember clear as yesterday. But before we go there, let me tell you a bit about this little channel of mine, why I started it, and what I hope it brings to you. So go ahead, make yourself comfortable, maybe pour a warm cup of coffee, and let's take a slow walk down memory lane together. This channel, Echoes of the Past, is all about the stories that stay with us. The kind that shape who we are. Some are happy, some are hard, but all of them are worth remembering. I've been around a while. I've seen the world change. From black and white TVs to smartphones in every hand. And through it all, I've gathered stories about family, about places I've been, and the lessons life teaches you when you're not even looking. Every week, I'll be right here, just me and you, sharing one of those stories. Maybe I'll tell you about growing up in a small Ohio town, or the time I learned to fix a car with my dad. Sometimes, I'll share the old ways, baking bread from scratch, writing letters to someone you love. And I'd love to hear your stories too, because we all carry a piece of the past worth passing on. Now, let me take you back to the summer of 1955. A story about a diner, a song, and a promise I made a long time ago. Picture this, it's the summer of 1955. I'm 18 years old, living in Willow Creek, Ohio, a small town where everybody knew everybody. On Friday nights, all us kids would pile into Sally's Diner. That place was the heart of town. Red vinyl booths, a jukebox in the corner blaring Elvis Presley or Bill Haley. The air smelled of burgers and cherry cola. That summer, I was sweet on a girl named Mary. She had this laugh that made the whole world feel brighter. And she could dance like nobody's business. One night, we were at the diner. The jukebox was playing Rock Around the Clock. Mary grabbed my hand, pulled me to the little dance floor, and we danced till we were out of breath. Right there, with the lights flickering and the music loud, she looked at me and said, "Joe, promise we'll always have nights like this, full of music and joy." I looked her in the eyes and promised. Felt like the easiest promise I'd ever make. But life doesn't always keep things simple. A year later, I got drafted. The Korean War was done, but the army still needed folks. I had to leave Willow Creek, leave the diner, leave Mary. I wrote her letters every week. I'd sit down and pour my heart onto the page. For a while, she wrote back. Then the letters stopped. I didn't know why. By the time I got home, 2 years later, Mary was gone. Her family had moved, and nobody knew where. I carried that promise with me though. Even as I built a life, got married, raised a family, watched my kids grow up, I'd think about those diner nights. I'd wonder if Mary ever thought about them too. Then, in 1985, I was driving through a town a couple hours from Willow Creek. Stopped at a little coffee shop to stretch my legs. And there she was. Mary, older, of course, but that smile hadn't changed a bit. We sat down, talked for hours. She'd had her own life, marriage, kids, some hard times too. But when I brought up Sally's Diner, her eyes lit up. She said, "Joe, I still think about those nights. You kept that promise, didn't you? Not the dancing, but the joy. You carried it with you." That day, I realized something. Promises aren't about freezing time. They're about holding on to what matters. The feeling of those moments, and letting it guide you. I've tried to live that way ever since. Keeping the spirit of those diner nights alive, no matter where I go. Well, that's my story for today, friends. I hope it took you back to a time, or a place you hold dear. Maybe it reminded you of your own diner, or your own Mary. If you enjoyed this, I'd be honored if you'd stay.